Meantime, though, we have a match of our own starting up right now, Paritan Rumble. This is going to be the first match in a best-of-3 between GentWatch, a combination of some ragtag gents and Overwatch, going up against the Rydrs, one of the strongest clans in the competitive scene right now.
Yes, well, will this ragtag bunch of vagabonds be able to surmount the Rydrs? We shall see. First up on the Fancy, piloted by GeoRMR, we have
No,
a
that's
top
Dementio.
deck.
The Dementio is piloting this one.
Oh, that's weird. Oh, sorry, I got them mixed up. Dementio, piloted by Dementio. We have a top deck Hades, we have Artemis Wings, and a bottom deck Flamer Carronade. Secondly, on the LibGTK, piloted by Luozi, we have Gatling Mortar Front and Carronade Flare Side.
And on the blue spawn, we have GentWatch. For the Overwatch ship, we have the Bananabula being piloted by Vomact. Hades on the top, with a Carronade and Artemis on the lower decks, and another Artemis on the starboard side wing, Gatling on the port. We also have the Serial Kicker, a Pyramidium being piloted by Swiftpaw, Gat Mortar forward with Banshee and Flare on the port side. Already, shots being exchanged, Bananabula getting the worst of it, but they do have plenty of hard cover.
Those Hades and Artemis, just as we've talked about before, just the perfect choice to fire down on your opponent. Serial Killer take it? Yeah, Serial Killer looked like it took a bit of a bounce there.
Yeah, they got revealed by the flare. They may be able to get lost in the clouds. In just a moment. LibGTK, yeah, there it goes. Serial Kicker no longer spotted, no perma-hole taken. But already, I think we're seeing the Rydrs taking control of this game.
Yeah, I mean, I see this quite a lot between like these high-level competitive teams. They immediately get into this standoff. Around this sort of big building in the middle, and either team is just quite cautious to engage.
Now, the LibGTK rising up. It looks like it's afraid of the Serial Kicker coming through. There's the spot. Wow, what a spot. Just barely. Now, the Artemis coming in. Hades going to go wide, not able to disable any of the engines, so the Serial Kicker will just back up and on out of this. GentWatch right now, struggling to try and get a good position.
Neither team here wants to be the one to charge through that one of these narrow corridors. So I think we are going to see a lot of just jockeying for position here.
Yeah, neither team right now has decided to go around these buildings. I think both Metamidians are dedicated to their Mobula defense.
Yeah, I mean, as tempting as it is to charge in on that... charge one of those mobulas with your Metamidian, that could go horribly wrong very quickly.
Ooh, shots going out on the Fancy. It's gonna be okay. Fire burning on the armor. The armor might actually burn away here.
Serial Kicker looks like he might be going for it.
Maybe. I don't know. He's just kind of poking his head in right now. Not quite making the dedicated charge because he is eating Hades. Eating quite a bit, kerosining backwards, doesn't want any of this.
Yep, he's thinking better of it, he's backing off.
I think the Fancy took... no, they didn't take any perma-hole damage, they're fine. That's actually pretty interesting. I thought that little bit of hull damage was going to go out on the Fancy. I think like they got scraped. I don't know. Either way, it doesn't hardly matter at all.
It looks like a pixel's worth has just gone off there.
Yeah, just barely. Now, again, both teams backing up, posturing. The Fancy did lose its armor, and what do they have? Okay, so they do have an Extinguisher. I really do believe... so I was saying before I like Extinguisher more, I didn't quite qualify that. I like Extinguisher more on the Mobula, because it's... when you have, 3 gunners facing forward and you're trading fire, it's hard to keep chem spray cycles going without losing firepower. It's impossible.
Well, LibGTK is going for a big flank here, but I think he may have been revealed by the flare, but it doesn't matter. The LibGTK's got the Gatling on the Bananabula. Serial Kicker coming in.
A lot of that Gatling miss on the Bananabula, and the Serial Kicker is going to have something to say about that. LibGTK eating a lot of fire from both of these ships, but the LibGTK still manages to get the armor down to the Serial Kicker, and the combined might of these two ships is going to take it down, and now the Bananabula eating fire. LibGTK loses its armor. Hades going to continue landing, but it's just going to scrape the hull a little bit as the Fancy comes in here and has its way with the Bananabula. Armor down.
And now we've got another 2-on-1 situation here. I think this is all she wrote for the Bananabula.
Now the Fancy is eating some fire, but the armor is holding. Bananabula still eating fire. Artemis not even going to get the honor of finishing it off. That's going to be a flamer kill.
There we go. I mean, the Riders took the initiative there. I mean, they were the first to fire. And even though the Mobula backed off, I mean, they still had the initiative. They started the fight, and they were the ones to finish it.
Yeah, both teams were taking a big risk hanging out so close to these buildings. You saw they were like right here. And the flank was especially effective because you saw the Riders had the advantage over... they had the posturing over the GentWatch. They forced those ships to really hug the wall to get as much cover as they could. But that just meant the LibGTK could come around the corner and sideswipe them. And they were pressed up against the buildings. There was not much they could really do about it.
Oh my goodness, and now Bananabula's turned away from the Fancy and the LibGTK, which are coming through here. Bananabula's been spotted. Oh my goodness, oh no!
Serial
GentWatch
kicker.
are in a terrible position here.
Whoa!
Serial kicker being annihilated.
Now the Bananabula is going to be the target. Gatling goes out, but it's not going to be able to do a whole lot. LibGTK turning on the Bananabula. This may be a 2 Gatling clip to kill situation.
This is
Armor comes
really, really bad luck for the GentWatch team here. Just turned completely the wrong way as the Rydr team came through the clouds.
The Riders know the spawns better. Like, they could just sort of assume where the GentWatch was. I think they made an assumption as to where they spawned. Or maybe they just saw them through the buildings and they took full advantage of it. Engines down on this Mobula.
LibGTK staying inert here. Not sure why. Maybe a quick internet flub for Luozi.
No, I think he was watching for the serial kicker to come in again in case he spawned in.
Oh, you might be right. You may be very... Yeah, definitely. I mean, you don't always have to focus fire at a target when you've already got it down. I mean, you can use the other ship to watch out.
However, GentWatch is going to play this safe. They're not going to meet grind. It's 4-0, though.
Yeah, I mean... Definitely the Riders are in the driver's seat now. Now they can go on cruise control a little bit. They can take things easy.
Yeah, they could just hang out. They could let the timer run out even if they wanted to, but I don't see much point in the first game of this best of 3. They're going to reposture. Actually, GentWatch is going to reposture in the center again. They want to try to fight it. However, they're at the mercy of the Riders. The Riders can just take this as slow as they darn well please. GTK,
yes, they can.
Just a scratch. So what's important to note, another really important note is the Riders, they picked up 4 kills, and what sort of damage do they have to show for it? Someone sneezed a bit too hard in the Fancy and scratched the paint, and the LibGTK is scratched. Like, it's taking a little bit of damage. Now the Hades is coming out. Armor's going to be fine, though.
Once again, these 2 teams on either side of that central building. Serial Killer looks like it wants to sort of poke its head out a little bit, but neither team wants to make the mistake going too far, too fast.
Yeah, we're 8 minutes. We're 8 minutes into this fight. We're about halfway finished with the regular time. I don't even think this is going to go into overtime at all.
No, I have a feeling the Riders will be able to get the victory here one way or another. Bananabula takes a few pot shots, but ducks back into cover.
Yeah, the Bananabula has the chem spray. Now, it's really interesting to see. Like, we don't see Extinguisher a lot anymore. I kind of want to bring this up again because I think it's an important note. The Fancy, so both Lydia and Yarman Kell have Extinguisher instead of chem spray. They're just saying, you know what? We're not even going to try to keep things chem sprayed. We're just going to concentrate on getting spots, getting shots, and getting kills, and then we'll deal with the damage later. And I think that's the right way to go with the Mobula. Like, the chem spray is just too hard to keep going on the widely spaced components. Serial kicker being revealed, and we're back to our standoff.
Serial Kicker taking a lot of damage to the armor, but managing to retreat just in time. Oh, another standoff situation, but the Fancy taking a lot of damage too.
Yeah, they lost their armor. They're okay, though. They're okay for the moment. A little bit of damage.
LibGTK looks like it's starting to inch round this building. They might come up on the bad side of the Bananabula. Once again, the Rydr's taking the initiative, playing aggressively.
Look at that. The Bananabula is ready. They're backing up into the clouds. The spot's there, though, and the Fancy has easy shots.
Look at that. Perfect flank. The Fancy and the LibGTK started firing at the exact same time on the Bananabula. Overwhelming damage on the Bananabula. Serial Kicker's trying to help, but it's not enough. Expertly done by the Rydrs.
Mm-hmm. That is exactly what they needed. I was saying, you know, in the first best of 3, the Mercury is very limiting, but the Hades allows you to rise up over objects and keep arc. That's what the Rydrs did. They knew that they could just get the Pyramidians sweeping in from the side, and the Fancy would still have arcs. That was just expertly played. Very, very well done. 5-0. 5-0 for the Rydrs.
5-0.